Sounds like a Velociraptor. There are certain things in life that split opinion, and we end up relentlessly arguing about them, even though we know the difference between those two things are very minute. Pancakes and crepes, Coke and Pepsi, an endless list of death metal bands, and in automotive terms, the Toyota GT86 and the Subaru BRZ. I mean, they're both budget, pocket rocket sports cars under £30,000. They've got near identical interior and exterior styling. I mean, they even use the same flat 4 boxer petrol engine and the same rear-wheel drive setup. Now for 2017, the GT86 has been updated. It was actually updated before the BRZ was, and with this update brings a wider, meaner looking front grille. You get a new front splitter, a rejigged front bumper which now houses fancier fog lights, and you get full LED headlights. But there's a few more little tweaks as well. So let's take a closer look. So, a few new additions to speak of. First off, there's this new steering wheel with mounted audio controls. You also get that familiar 86 logo plastered in the centre. You also get new contrast and silver stitching on these lovely bucket seats and leather plastered all over the doors. But the best new addition for me, especially functionality wise, is this new 4.2-inch trip screen behind the steering wheel. Now, if you're used to the creature comfort galore feel of high-end sports cars, then you'll probably feel that the GT86 interior is a bit cheap, but for enthusiasts it's spot on. It's got that visceral feeling about it that it just feels like it's been hand screwed together, and it's great. Plus you actually get some decent kit as standard. You get Bluetooth, DAB radio, and this Toyota Touch 2 infotainment screen. Okay, fair enough, it is a bit raw, even more so when you start up the engine and you feel it shake to life. Like I said earlier, it's the same 197 brake horsepower, 2-litre naturally aspirated flat 4 boxer petrol engine under the bonnet. Now that means the GT86 still needs a decent amount of sparing to really achieve its potential. That rev counter doesn't just go up to 9,000 RPM for the sake of it. So once you hit the 6,500 RPM mark, you will open up 205 Newton meters of torque, and if you work this rather stimulating 6-speed manual gearbox fast enough, then you can achieve a 0 to 62 time of just 7.6 seconds. Yes, identical to the BRZ. And another thing that's identical to the BRZ are the new engine changes, which are supposed to make it run more smoothly and more responsively, but unless you've got the new and the old GT86 models side by side, I don't think you're going to tell the difference. The GT86 is still so much fun to drive though, and that fun factor is so easy to access. I mean, yes, give it a bit too much throttle going out of a junction or going around a roundabout, and you will feel the back end whip out. And the vehicle dynamic system and the rear torsion limited slip diff should help any muppets who maybe push it when they shouldn't do. But if you're one of those people who knows what they're doing and you do want to spruce things up a bit, then you can engage this new track mode. Now this turns off the traction control and heightens the throttle response, amongst other things, and oh boy. But forget about turning the traction control off, forget about sprint times, forget about brute force and turbochargers. It doesn't matter, this is still one of the most engaging cars money can buy, period. I mean, it just sticks to the road like a bad habit, and the steering's so exact and precise. It feels like you're orchestrating your own driving experience. And okay, this might sound cliche, but the ride really does hit that perfect sweet spot between being too firm and being too soft. And actually, Toyota has tweaked the GT86's ride for 2017 to make it a tad firmer and more agile in the corners, but that actually makes it feel more like the BRZ. And the gap between the two models has never been smaller. And the big difference between the two, everyone always says, is, oh, it's the ride. The ride's the big difference. Well, I'm not too sure about that anymore. Oh, and I'm not sure if you noticed, this GT86 hasn't got a spoiler because it's not standard on the GT86, unlike on the BRZ. You've got to go for the GT86 Pro model, which also brings the likes of heated seats and Alcantara upholstery. And just a quick note on the boot, Okay, it may not look very big due to this narrow opening, but around 240 litres isn't bad. That's about city car super mini territory. And when it comes to those two rear seats, well, adults aren't going to be very comfortable. So which one would I go for? The Toyota GT86 or the Subaru BRZ? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the Toyota, maybe, I think. I mean, it is £350 more expensive, but I think I do prefer the styling slightly of the Toyota compared to the Subaru. And I guess a lot of people will go for Toyota because of the familiarity of that badge. Now, it makes me a bit sad that you're not going to see many of these on the road. I guess the flip side of that is if you do buy one, then you'll be getting plenty of looks, arguably more than you get in the likes of a Porsche, because, well, everyone knows what one of those looks like, don't they? So if you'd like to watch our video review of the Subaru BRZ, then make sure you click on screen now. If you want to browse prices for the Toyota GT86, then click the bottom left of your screen. And of course, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you click that subscribe button. You know what, I think I've changed my mind. I think I want the BRZ instead.